Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some swatches for you guys with the 15N Nightmaster palette from Morphe. Now I mostly got this palette to kind of fill a hole in my collection. I felt like I didn't have many warm tones or purpley tones and I really wanted to kind of create more looks with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the colours for you on my arm with a brush so that you can see how it applies with a brush, wet and dry, so you can really get a good idea for the pigmentation of these colours, the fallout, how it actually applies on the skin, that kind of thing. It's my first Morphe palette, so I'm really excited to see the quality of the shadows for myself. Everyone seems to rave about them all over YouTube. Everyone has their affiliate codes that you guys can go and use if you want to buy this palette. It normally gets you about 10% off. It's really weighty actually. It's got really nice solid black packaging. It feels really sturdy plastic. So we're going to have a look inside. Look at that. It comes with a big mirror, which I like, and these colours. These colours are absolutely everything. Look at those shades though. There's 15 really beautiful shades. It's a mixture of mattes and glitters, and I'm so excited to be swatching them for you guys. So if you guys like my swatching videos, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. First, I'm going to dip into this shade here, Custom. So for the swatches, I'm using my number 7 eye colour brush. It's a little bit powdery. So that is the shade Dry. As you can see, it kind of matches my skin tone quite a bit. It's a touch on the darker side, but it is quite a skin toned colour that's supposed to set the lid, maybe as a brow bone highlight, mostly I think to set the lid. So this colour Wet does translate much darker actually, but they're both going on really smooth, but I think this one you would normally just apply Dry and use it to set the lid, but I think it's going to be quite a good colour for that. Next we're going to dip into this shade here, Unique. So this one swatch is fairly pale with a brush and the glitter shows up slightly but not that well. I think this is one of the colours that is definitely going to be better wet. So yeah, that colour definitely swatches better wet. You get a bit more of that kind of gold sheen. It's a really pretty gold reflective colour that is going to look really nice, and a lot of neutral eye looks, a lot of warm toned eye looks, which this palette seems to be kind of more catered toward. So you can see where I've just accidentally dug my nail into one of the colours. But anyway, next we're going to go into this colour here, which is Selfie. These shadows are a bit powdery, so that is just something to be aware of. I've been picking up a lot of product, especially on Selfie. I'm getting quite a bit of fallout. Like, you can kind of see it all down my arm here. But this, I think, would be a pigment that you would just dip your brush in and use it maybe as a transition. But look at that colour Dry. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. A nice orangey terracotta colour. So Wet, it translates quite a bit darker and more pigmented. It's really smooth. These shadows so far are just really smooth. But that is Selfie Wet, and I think Dry, this is going to be a nice kind of transition shade. I think that's what this is more of a shadow intended for. So the next colour I'm going to dip into is this shade here, Talent. So honestly, I don't know what to expect from this one. I feel like the matte so far are the most kind of powdery. So this is Talent Dry right here, and it's a bit more of a kind of shimmery burnt orange. It's a really beautiful colour. Really beautiful to go with your warm toned looks that this palette is made for. Now this one, I don't feel like there was like much more of a difference Wet. I feel like it's a little bit more opaque, but that you can kind of see the orange a little bit more on that one. But I don't feel like it's as different as some of the others are Wet. So the next colour we're going to go into is Shook. Shook is a deeper orange than Selfie. It's a lot more warm of a matte kind of colour and shows up really nice and pigmented dry. Wet, this shade looks super dark, almost like a reddy brown. It's really nice wet. I think it just transforms the shadow. So the next shade we're going to be swatching is this one here, Va Va Voom. I think the problem I was getting before with lots of fallout is that I'm trying to pick up too much pigment. I'm used to eyeshadows not having loads and loads of pigment, and these ones do. So you don't need to get a lot on your brush, otherwise you are going to have a fallout problem. Like I almost experienced that with this one, Va Va Voom. It is everything. It's that kind of burnt red colour. It's really nice. It's a reddy brown. I'm in love with it. It's going to kind of create some of the more warm red looks. You don't just have to go warm brown, warm orange, red too. And this is what that is here for. So wet, this colour is amazing. It deepens it up so much. I'm actually in love with it. It is perfect wet. You can kind of see that red a bit more. It's a bit more true to colour, I think, wet. I think this one, it almost looks a bit faded. So I think wet really picks up more of that colour. So next we're going to pop into the colour Illustrated. So this colour I don't know that I'm as keen on. Like it's clearly supposed to be one of the more shimmery colours, but it doesn't pop quite as much as the other shimmers do for me. I think it's really nice, don't get me wrong. I don't know, it doesn't quite pop enough for me. I think we'll see how it is wet, it may pop more. So wet, I feel like this colour is a bit better. I feel like you don't have a bit of the streakiness that I feel like you had with this, but I still don't feel like it's super like illuminating, sparkly, that kind of thing. I feel like the other colours are more made for that. That darker colour I don't think is quite as sparkly as the others. The next shade we're going to pop into is Goals. So Goals is a nice kind of chocolatey brown. Forgive the swatches on this arm, there's no room left on this arm. But it's really nice. None of these shades are patchy. That is what I'm loving. No matter whether the colours for me or not, the shades are really nice. The pigment is bright. This is a really nice kind of milk chocolate kind of shade with a hint of red. I think it's going to be really nice to warm up the crease. So wet, this is kind of a bit more reddy toned, I think. I don't feel like it's that much of a chocolatey brown anymore. It does feel a little more on the warm side to be too chocolatey brown. But it is a really nice colour wet, but very different, very different. Next we're going to pop into Editorial right here. So this shade is a really nice warm brown. It's definitely more of that chocolatey colour that I was talking about before, so much more than this is. It's a really nice, beautiful warm brown tone, really nice. That one wet is everything. It's beautiful and deep, it just went on so smooth. I am in love with these shadows. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You know which is my favourite shade so far? Editorial went on so well, so well. Like it's one of the smoothest I would say in the palette. So next we're going to pop into this gorgeous shade here, Creativity. Look at Creativity, what a colour. Oh my god, that sparkle is there. It's a beautiful peach tone actually, which is the only peach tone in the palette. But honest to god, that is beautiful. That is my favourite shade so far, hands down. And this is it matte. Imagine how beautiful this is going to be wet. Just imagine. I don't even know if I like this one more wet. Look at that. The peach is just a bit stronger and it's gorgeous, gorgeous. It sticks better wet. I think that's what I'm noticing. It sticks better to the skin, like most of these shadows do, but look at that bad boy. So next we're going to try Scene. So Scene looks super dark in the pan, but it translates as a really nice purpley hue here on the arm, and I think that this purple is going to be really, really nice with the colours here. I feel like they all kind of integrate well. Maybe a purple and gold look, that would look really nice. And this would be really nice for it, because I have another purple pigment which is from L'Oreal, and I find that to be a bit patchy, so I'm really looking forward to using this purple colour. So wet, this purple definitely kind of is just a bit more true to colour. I feel like it's a really nice deep colour, and I think this is going to look really nice wet. I would probably use this one wet over dry, even though it's a matte shade, because I feel like it's a bit more true to colour. Next we're going to pop into Cliché here. So Cliché translates as a much paler purple, which is okay. It's not the best. I don't think it's the best colour in this palette personally. I don't feel like it applies quite as smoothly as the others. So it doesn't look much better wet. I'm not a massive fan of Cliché. I don't feel like it's the best colour in this palette. It's not bad if you want, I think, a pale wash of colour, but for what I'm going for, this probably isn't going to be it. So next we're going to dip into the colour Excuse Me. So in the pan it looks like a deep purple, but it looks a bit more like a kind of straight up black on the arm actually. You see the glitter like a touch, but I don't feel like the glitter's that obvious. But it's still a really nice, more shimmery colour. Really nice colour. I feel like wet the other shadows transform more than this one does. I feel like this one went on a little bit easier and a bit smoother and a little bit less patchy. I had to work with this one a bit less wet. So that would probably be my choice in terms of application. However, I don't feel like it's much different to the colour above it. So next we're going to jump into Hello. I feel like this has gone on really smooth. This is one of the smoothest colours in the palette dry. It's really pigmented and dark, and it's going to create some really nice brown, deep, smoky eyes. I think that's definitely what it's intended for, and I think it will work really well for that. Wet, this shadow looks like it has a purpley kind of hue on the viewfinder, but in real life, I promise it does look really nice, dark brown. It just sticks a bit better. Wet, I don't feel like I prefer it over dry. I think I would still use this one dry to deepen up a look. I think they're all really beautiful colours, really beautiful. And I went down and like ran my finger down these shadows, and you see they don't move. I'm now going to pop into the last shade, Craze. So this is Craze Dry. It's kind of like a shimmery brown, but it's not super shimmery. It's kind of hard to describe the colour. It's kind of like a shimmery taupe. It's really nice, and I think a really deep look with some of this popped on is just going to be magical, absolutely magical. So this is Craze Wet. I don't feel like it's much different to it dry. You may just have to put a bit more product on dry, but that is really beautiful. It reminds me of the colour of the new Maybelline Tattoo Cream eyeshadow that I picked up in my most recent haul video, which I will link down below. No, I'm really enjoying this palette. I think it's really good for the price. It's £15, and then with an influencer code or with student discount it brings it down to £13.50 for this palette. That is amazing. The quality of these shadows is everything. I'm absolutely in love with it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like the palette, if you want me to create a look with it, if you just liked the video, and please subscribe to my channel before you leave, and if you press that notification bell down at the bottom you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.